Very good Wednesday morning to you guys. Brooks Baptiste here, checking in from the First Alert Desk. Hopefully your day is off to a great start, is going well. I got a couple of stories that we're watching for you at this 11 o'clock hour, many of which you need to know about as you go about your day, and really giving you a preview of what you can expect today on Atlanta News First at noon. We appreciate you being with us. This first story happens to be one out of Cherokee County, and police could use your help. I'm going to put a picture up here on the screen so that you can get an idea of who police are looking for right now. This is 65-year-old Laura Ann Linden. Now, Linden disappeared Saturday on her way to meet up with her friends for dinner. Deputies say that she sent a text message to her friends at 6 in the evening, but she never showed up. She never showed up. So Linden drives a gray Nissan Sentra. We do have this picture on all of our platforms right now so that you can share it, post it, and hopefully help authorities bring this woman home. But again, deputies in Cherokee County, they need your help finding this missing woman that you see here on your screen. This is 65-year-old Laura Ann Linden, who disappeared Saturday as she was simply on her way to meet up with friends for dinner. That's according to authorities. Now, deputies say that there was a text message that was sent to her friends about 6 p.m., but she never ended up showing up. So if you have anything that can help them locate her, figure out where she is, you are urged to give police a call. Another story that we're watching at this hour, the former officer charged in connection to a teen death. So I want to show you this because this is kind of that story that has just taken such a shocking turn and such a shocking twist, and it has a lot of people saying, I've got questions. Yeah, so we keep getting more details about the former officer being charged in connection with the death of 16-year-old Susanna Morales. Now, these are photos that you just saw, and I want to actually start this video over again because I want you to be able to see this. Here are the photos right here from a neighbor showing that the officer's patrol car was being towed on Monday. That is the day that Gwinnett County Police arrested 22-year-old Miles Bryant, who had been a Doraville police officer for close to a year and a half, so not a very long time. Now, that was also the same day of the funeral for 16-year-old Susanna Morales, who was found missing 6 months before her remains were found. Bryant not officially charged with the girl's murder, but in the arrest warrant application, here's what's interesting. Investigators indicated that they suspect Bryant of murder and rape, adding, quote, the accused lives in close proximity to the victim and dumped her naked body in the woods. Yeah, pretty hard to hear right there, very disturbing. The officer's neighbor, who didn't want to go on camera or be identified, described a video that she also took showing those detectives combing through the officer's personal vehicle for evidence. Take a listen to what she had to say. Let me see if we actually have that. We may not have that sound, unfortunately. Oh, here we go. Take a listen right here.
The back of it, and they took a sheet out of the car and put it in the crime scene bag.
Now, it's important to note that in court yesterday, when the former officer was there in court, he spoke only when he had an answer to a yes or no question. Still a lot of layers to this situation here. You know, again, it stems back to the summer of last year, her remains being found not too long ago, and really still a lot of questions surrounding what was the connection, why was there a connection, if there's any at all. But again, that former officer being charged in connection to the death of 16-year-old Susanna Morales, and one story that we're, of course, going to continue to follow throughout the day. Another story that we're watching. When you're probably out and about, I'm sure you notice, depending on where you live and where you go and, visit to different stores and whatnot, you may see homeless people on the streets. You may also ride past places where they're kind of like these tent camps, and you see nothing but tents out there, which is where they stay, the homeless stay. Well, there's a new law that would require homeless to sleep in those camps. And that's all homeless here in Atlanta. So I want to tell you about this one and kind of give you a little bit of background about this story as well. So let's see. These mandated zone tent cities, basically it's a Senate bill 82, and it's supposed to keep tents from going up under those bridges or along the interstate, which you've probably seen whenever you're out and about. Now, the bill would require people experiencing homelessness to sleep in areas that are designated by local governments. In other words, the governments are going to designate these different spots where the homeless should gather. And if law enforcement would have to arrest them if they were found somewhere else. So if they're not in those camps, then they have the right to arrest them, according to this Senate bill. Now, supporters say that the bill is about safety, but opponents, they're not buying that.
Concentrating folks into one area, where sober people are going to be next to people in active addiction, where there might be people who are having some really extreme mental health episodes.
Now, we can tell you, believe it or not, there are about 10,000 homeless people in the city of Atlanta. That's according to officials. Some may argue that that number is probably a little greater than that. But again, that's just what we've been able to learn as far as the homelessness in Georgia. Excuse me, I think I said Atlanta, but talking about the homelessness in Georgia, about 10,000 people that are considered to be in that category. But a story that we're going to stay on top of, see if that Senate bill pushes through, and one that we'll be following throughout the day and the days to come. All right, let's get you caught up on this next story. And I do want to say that we're in the middle of a newsroom, so you're hearing somebody on the intercom right now. If you're saying, did I just hear somebody on the intercom? You did. There's a new food hall that is coming to East Atlanta. And let me tell you, Atlanta is serious about its food. I didn't know that until I got here. And everybody said, well, Atlanta's got some great food spots. And maybe you agree. Maybe Atlanta does have a lot of great spots that you like to check out. So maybe another food hall might not be so bad. Maybe that's something that the folks really want. Yeah, Atlanta, now another one coming to the area and hoping to really help more local restaurants. So the plan is for the Holly Dom Eatery, and that's going to open on Moreland Avenue. That's about 2 miles south of East Atlanta Village. The Atlanta Business Chronicle saying that it's going to be inside the new IST Management Services building. So not too far away from where a lot of people can have access to it. Developers also saying that there's going to be about 11 food stalls there, also going to be a bar as well, and they say that it should open by the end of the year. Other popular food halls that maybe you have visited is the Krog Street Market, maybe the Pont City Market. I know I've seen some of y'all out there at the Pont City Market, and then the Chattahoochee Food Works that a lot of people seem to check out there as well. Last but certainly not least, our final story today. When we think about that earthquake that really affected so many parts of the Middle East, Turkey and Syria being two of the main ones, and the aftershocks of those earthquakes, oh man, when you see those images, you only feel for people out there because their lives were turned upside down. Tens of thousands of people dead as a result of this earthquake. And what's interesting is there are still people who are being found alive. You may say, how? How have they been able, as we've now just hit the 1 week mark today, but still some being found alive? So you may be asking yourself, how can I help? Because I believe that's one of the greatest parts about living here in a place like, Atlanta, and a place like Georgia. We love to help people. And there is one place that you can go to help drop off some different things that will be sent to those surviving victims and really those who are just trying to stay afloat right now.
Really is nice to hear we can do something from across the world. So over here you can see the Turkish flag and then all of these boxes ready to get filled up with supplies to help these victims. And this is an initiative by the group, the International Blue Crescent Relief and Development Foundation. The vice president says their #1 priority is keeping victims alive, and their #2, getting them as many resources as possible to cover their health needs, food, tents. And the VP says the situation abroad has gotten worse for survivors as they lack food, medicine, shelter, and now they are dealing with freezing winter conditions.
Around 15 million people are affected from the earthquake. Around 160,000 buildings collapsed or they are not under use for anymore. And the people in the streets screaming for help. The weather didn't help us anymore in this region. It's unusual, but there is snow in the northern part of the affected.
If you feel compelled to come and help fill these boxes, you can start dropping stuff off at 11 this morning through 6 to 9. And they're going to be doing this with those same hours through February 19th. Reporting in Norcross, I'm Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.
Madeline Montgomery, thank you so much for that. So as you just heard, that's going on until 6 o'clock. It just started about 10 minutes ago since it started right there at 11. But if you feel urged to maybe make a difference today and do something for those who are in Turkey and Syria, really providing some help for them, that is a great opportunity for you to take advantage of and make sure that you do your part, as we like to say. We've got all of those stories, so much more coming up on Atlanta News First at noon. You're taking a live look outside. This is over Midtown right here, and oh man, not pretty. First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi going to be timing out all of those conditions and what you can expect in the days to come on Atlanta News First at noon. But until then, thanks so much for joining us again. I'm Brooks Baptiste. We'll see you.